Boom. What's up, you guys? It's Royce Jacob, and welcome back to the channel. We're back, baby. Riot Platforms is on an absolute rampage, and I want to talk to you guys about where I believe this stock can go, or how much further it can go, at least over the remainder of the summer of 2023. And of course, Bitcoin, because the price action of Bitcoin miners is heavily dependent upon the price action of Bitcoin and the overall equity markets, which is actually why I do also want to talk about small caps later as well. Let's float myself on top. Why I also want to talk about small caps later as well, and why I'm just bullish on not only Riot Blockchain and Bitcoin miners, Riot Platforms, always correct myself there, not only bullish on Riot Platforms and Bitcoin miners, but the small to mid cap, I should say, sector of the markets overall. Okay. So again, of course, we will be discussing Riot Platforms as I record this. The markets are on absolute fire. Bitcoin is popping off. And this just really, it's been doing well, of course, over the past couple of days. But as of right now, Bitcoin is looking really strong. And I do think new 2023 highs are ahead. Maybe even by the time you watch this video. Let me know in the comments down below if, we scrape to new 2023 highs. Because, it's coming. It's only a matter of time. Really a matter of when, not if, at least in my opinion. Okay, so again, talking Riot, of course, have to kick it off by discussing the price action for Bitcoin and discuss some news as well. It's been a while since I've recorded a video on, it's been a few weeks now. And, you guys, I'm sorry. I'm not recording and posting as much YouTube content, but of course, I'm doing the newsletter every day for those of you who are members of the newsletter. And honestly, I do like this format of recording less videos with, kind of more meat in them, okay? So we do have some news to catch up on. First, because we're kicking it off with Bitcoin on the charts, I do want to discuss what I feel is probably the greatest cosign that Bitcoin has maybe ever had in its history, okay? And this has to do with CEO Larry Fink, who is, of course, the CEO of BlackRock. They're the largest asset manager in the world with, I think, $7 trillion in assets under management. They're like, I think by GDP, BlackRock is like the third largest country in the world. Okay. So we'll kick it off by reading over this quick article, just a few short paragraphs here discussing how Larry Fink says Bitcoin could revolutionize finance. Again, this is the CEO, arguably, when it comes to finance, the single most powerful person in the world, maybe just in general, depending upon how you define power, I guess. One of the most powerful people in the world just gave Bitcoin a massive cosign. So we'll kick it off with this. Take a look at Bitcoin on the charts. After we do that, we'll read over Riot's recent production and operations update that was just released on July 6th. Not going to go over all the specific miners. As always, just go check out their investor tab for yourself if you do want to dig in. But I just want to say it's looking good, and I really want to highlight this one quote from Jason Les, who is their CEO. As always, you guys, don't just bet on the race. Don't just bet on the car. Bet on the driver, okay? Don't just bet on the horse, bet on the jockey. And as you guys know, Riot's a day one. This is the first, the first video I ever made on investing back in early 2020 was on Riot. And, we've come a long way, and we followed the team. They're doing great things, and I love to see that they're making so much progress and continue to make progress into the next phase of, what I believe is really the bull market cycle that kind of has already begun, okay? Definitely come to Bitcoin halving in 2024. Played this. I've played this since 2017 now. The Bitcoin halving is pretty much the nail in the coffin as far as guaranteed upside is concerned, okay? So that's the video, you guys. Again, I do want to discuss kind of the strategy within my personal portfolio as we move into the video. June was an amazing month for Waves Capital, second best of the year, and we've had some pretty damn good months this year. I will ask you guys, if you are members of Waves Cap, please drop a comment down below. Talk about the experience you've had. Again, I never advise you guys. You get a complete breakdown of my entire personal portfolio, so literally every trade I have open and every alteration I make to those trades on a daily basis, every single trading day. I never advise you guys to directly copy what I'm doing, but learn from what I'm doing, apply my successes and my failures, just learn from my wins and my losses in order to adapt those wins and losses and the rationale I use to, or I guess how I rationalize those and how I learn from those and adapt those learnings to your strategy. Okay. So regardless, the reality is I know some of you guys are taking on the same positions. That has to be true. I don't know for a fact, but I'm assuming it is. It's been a pretty damn good month. June was huge, and life-changing gains were once again made. So the good times are rolling back. I love that Riot is such a significant player in the portfolio right now and has contributed to those gains. And once again, I do ask you guys, if you're members of the portfolio group, please just drop a comment down below and share your experience. Okay, so we'll save this for the end. Just give you guys my thoughts on the short term, because we do have a CPI report coming out. I'll give you guys my thoughts on that and just the state of the markets and why I'm so bullish on small caps. But of course, we'll discuss Riot at the end. As I just alluded to, you guys, if you want the daily newsletters, if you do want a complete breakdown of my personal portfolio, this is the trade alert right here. Just wrote this before I sat down to record this. And below this is the complete breakdown. Of course, if you guys want access to this, it's the first link in the description, my complete portfolio and daily newsletter. This link right here, this picture will take you to this. You get everything that this box here entails for a price of $15 a month. $40 for every 3 months, completely up to you. But I always recommend that you try it free. The reason I have a 7-day free trial is because I'm so confident in the product that I provide, and I take a lot of pride in it, and I work very hard on it. So give it a shot. You can always unsubscribe if you want, but I can't imagine you will once you get a taste. So if you're going to join Waves Cap, welcome to the winning team. I'll see you guys inside. If not, no worries at all. Let's get into the video. Okay, so again, take a look at Bitcoin on the charts. We'll zoom out here, but let's cover the cosign of a lifetime. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink said crypto, specifically Bitcoin, could revolutionize the financial system in an interview with Fox Business last Wednesday. Quote, "We do believe that if we could create more tokenization of assets and securities, that's what Bitcoin is. It could revolutionize finance," he said. Previously known to be a skeptic of crypto, Fink years ago suggested fans of the asset class heavily use it for illicit activities. And the reality is that was the genesis of Bitcoin. Degenerate transaction, okay? But, like a lot of other good things, you can have dark roots, but Bitcoin has become so much more than, an illicit form of value transfer. It is it's digital gold. It's gold 2.0. I've made multiple videos of that over the course of this YouTube career. And Bitcoin is gold 2.0. It is a finite resource with a predetermined and, it's a coded in supply. There will only ever be 18 or 21 million to Bitcoin to exist, likely closer to 18 million due to BTC lost over the past years when it was used to buy pizzas. And that's the beauty of Bitcoin. It is a finite resource. It is a provably finite resource, and that's what makes it that's what makes it valuable as an investment. And it's digital. It's a lot easier to carry around a ledger with you as opposed to a few bars of gold. Fink continued, instead of investing in gold as a hedge against inflation, a hedge against the onerous problem of any one country or the devaluation of your currency, whatever country you're in. Let's be clear, Bitcoin is an international asset. It's not based on any one currency, and so it can represent an asset that people can play as an alternative. Okay, so as we just said, Bitcoin, digital gold 2.0, more accessible, it's borderless, it's democratized, and it's global. Okay, that's the beauty of Bitcoin. And now we have a cosign from, once again, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink, who is, in my opinion, the most powerful man in the world, but definitely objectively the most powerful man in finance. Okay, that's Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Bitcoin on the charts. Cover this Riot, this little piece of Riot news quickly. More so this quote from the CEO, and then dive into Riot on as far as price targets are concerned. So Bitcoin, let's just zoom out here because Bitcoin actually has it's pretty clear what's going on with Bitcoin. I'll kind of get rid of this stuff just to keep it light. So Bitcoin, as we zoom out here, you can see that Bitcoin is in a very clear macro ascending channel, okay? Bitcoin, and the reason I have so much writing here is because I pretty much include analyses on these. Bitcoin, Riot, AI, APLD, render in the newsletters every day in the price targets newsletter, which I write, in today's case, after I record this. So again, if you guys want daily updates, daily price action updates, daily charts, daily takes, daily analyses, that is complete portfolio, just once again. Anyway, Bitcoin, as you can see here, has been clawing back to new 2023 highs. We're really struggling under this, kind of this, what I'll call a ceiling around 31, 31.2, 31.5. But when you zoom out here, which is what's important, because we are, again, we have initiated what I believe to be the next phase of the overall bull market cycle. Bitcoin is in a very, very clear, very evident long-term ascending channel, okay? Line of resistance right here, clear. Line of support created on June 15th with this low right here. Nice ascending channel, fairly perpendicular, which I do like to see that defines a healthy ascending channel in my mind, at least. And I do think new highs are coming. And I do think that this line of resistance, which is conservative, so you see how I say conservative, because this is how I prefer to draw trend lines. I don't like doing that. I'll trade. I mean, pretty much every trader is going to be looking at this, looking for that, in the case that we do test this at the end of July, if tomorrow's CPI report comes in cold, again, more on that a little later. Tomorrow's CPI report comes in cold, maybe we see 40K. Maybe we see 40K by August 1st. But as far as technicals are concerned, I don't like using wicks themselves. And you can see how many other traders believe that as well. We haven't gotten a closure, a daily closure above any of these levels. These are all wicks. So I feel like this is the true line of resistance that's in play. This is what the smart traders are using to front run, kind of the more novice traders, I would say. And I do think that if this trend line is tested, I'll say by July 21st, that date will come into play when we look at Riot. The reason for that is because it is a major options contract expiration date, which is why I have it here. If we get a cold CPI report, I think the markets will rip. I think that will create some massive short squeeze across asset classes. And I do think that by July 21st, which is, just over 10 days from now, but maybe definitely by August 1st, I'll say, I think we can see the next wave up. And I do think that the top line of resistance can be tested. So do we make it to 40K by August? I think we'll probably stall out around $39,000 personally. But hey, if the bulls are running, then the bulls are running. And, 40K is entirely possible by August. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. Let's move on to Riot. Take a quick look at this. Again, just go on to riotplatforms.com, investor tab. Check this out. This is a recent update. But really what I want to highlight here is the quote from their CEO. June was a momentous month for Riot. As a result from our mining operations, power strategy and growth plans have all come together, said Jason Les, CEO of Riot. We announced an initial order of 33,280 micro BT miners for our Corsiana facility, which is expected to add 7.6 exahashes to our self-mining fleet and also provides optionality for future orders at the same terms. This long-term purchase agreement locks in our pricing for the next generation of miners and provides a path to executing on our ambitious growth plans. Up into the right, baby. Riot has been doing this. Riot has, again, such humble beginnings. I've been following and invested. I still hold so many shares from this company that I held in 2017, my original shares. I'm very proud of that. But I've been following this company through the ups and downs, through the 2021 freaking bubble of bubbles, and all the way down and back up again. And this company is proving that they're making tangible progress from a business perspective. They're scaling their operations. And I think they're doing it at a better clip than anyone else. Again, whether you like Marathon Digital, I know BTBT has been looking good. We've talked about all these names before, Bitfarms, you name it. We've talked about it here on the channel. Riot is my number one. The reason I only talk about Riot now, and the reason I'm only invested in trade Riot in my personal portfolio is because I think this is the best Bitcoin miner in the game, and I'm honing in on what I feel is the number one player in the space. And apparently the markets believe so as well, because Riot, as far as market cap is concerned, is the largest Bitcoin miner in the public markets. Okay, so on that note, let's talk some price targets, you guys. Riot has actually just achieved the $17 target. As of the close today, we perfectly tested. If we zoom in here, you can see that Riot almost perfectly tested my $17 target. We didn't quite make it there. We're a few cents away, but hey, that's close enough for me. And for full transparency, I did take some profits from my Riot call options position this morning because we were so close and we have reached my first profit target. Okay, I still think Riot will go up, you guys. I want to make that clear, and this applies to every trade I have. I set a price target. I set multiple price targets, and regardless of whether I think the stock will still climb or not, I will 100% stick to my game plan and take profits when one of my profit targets is achieved. Once again, regardless of whether I think the stock will continue to climb or not, because that's what defines a responsible trader. And with a portion of those profits, I will either keep it as dry powder to redeploy. I will not always initially redeploy that capital, or I will transfer it into my bank account in order to lock in the winning trade. Okay. And again, if you're part of the newsletter, if you're part of the portfolio, you know this is law, but I just want to share this with you guys as well. Okay. So profit target 1 as of today, as of close, you guys, in the last 10 minutes of the trading day today, it is July 10th as of recording. The freaking great day. Kicked off the day with a bang. And again, I hope the CPI report comes in cold, because that would be awesome. But Riot does have some signs of being pretty damn overbought, if I'm being honest. Okay, so I'll zoom out here. Daily candle or daily RSI. This is a pretty damn good tell of when a stock will see a pullback. And if we zoom out here, you can see the daily RSI for Riot Platforms has not been up at a move my fat head. So you guys can see this has not been up at an 80. Anything above 80 is perceived as extremely overbought. Okay, from an RSI relative strength index perspective. RSI is currently at an 80. We haven't seen levels like these since February of 2021, which is pretty staggering to say, and we all know what happened there. So I do think that more upside is possible. That said, I do think in all reality, a pullback is likely. And I will say that upon a pullback, I do plan on buying more call options, probably with the proceeds, with the profits that I just kept as dry powder today. And again, you guys, that's what I'd love to do as a trader. When something gets oversold, even if you think it's going to go back in the medium term, maybe it sees a short-term pullback, take some profits, keep those profits on the sideline, wait for a pullback, buy back into lower cost, and average down on your position. Dollar cost average down on your position pretty much, okay? So Riot is still strong. And again, I want to make it very clear that it's entirely possible that we continue to climb. My next profit target from here is going to be $19. The reason for that being that's kind of just the rally we saw back here. From when we see short-term rally from the base of the rally, which I'll consider right here. If we see a 58% rally from the base, I guess it wouldn't be $19. It'd be closer to the high 17. So I do definitely think we'll stall out around 18, 19 bucks if we do continue to rally forward. But again, I'd be very cautious right now, and especially if we go to the 4 hour. 4 hour is up at an RSI of 84, 85, which is very, very overbought. So just be careful, you guys. If you're not positioned in Riot yet, this is not financial advice, but if it were me, I would wait for a pullback, because I think it's pretty likely we do see a short-term pullback. I don't think we come down to 1390, which is what a lot of traders are going to be looking at, because it is this previous high. I think that if we pull back, we come down to the $14.50, $15 region. Just to retest this prior macro high. Still zoomed in a little there. Didn't notice that, sorry. But I do think we come down to maybe $14.50, $15. If I was looking to establish a position, I wouldn't get greedy. I would buy more. I'll personally probably add back in at around $15. So that's just what I would do, you guys. And best case scenario for Riot, if Bitcoin rips, which is looking pretty damn good right now, if Bitcoin does rip, over the coming days, if the CPI report does come in cold, which we'll talk about right now, I do think the best case scenario for Riot is testing the top line of resistance on this ascending channel, which would lead to this is crazy, but by the 21st, again, a massive options contract expiration date, the 21st, that would lead to a $22 plus Riot Platforms. Okay, that's right, you guys. Let's close it out by reading over the newsletter I wrote this morning. This could potentially be the only video I released this week. So again, if you guys want a breakdown of my bet, right now, Riot isn't our only good play. AI is coming back. Garden Health is a great play right now. Matterport's waking up. Pagaya Technologies is looking really exciting right now. Weight Watchers has been printing for us, you guys. If you want to join Waves Capital, again, just give it a shot. Free trial. First link in the description. But that said, let's read over the newsletter. Okay, we got a busy week of inflation data ahead. Before we discuss that catalyst, I want to once again celebrate small caps for maintaining their lead against large caps in the major indices. The Russell 2K is significantly outperforming the three big dogs. Okay, Russell 2000 small cap index. significantly outperforming the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, and Dow. And as we all know, this macro trend is a very, very good friend of Waves Cap. The trend is your friend. This friend is an especially good friend of Waves Capital. We've mined our gems and we've prospected them well. Our positions continue to shine brighter than most, and I trust that they'll continue to do so as we progress through the summer months. Investors are displaying optimism today, but I personally don't want to get too excited just yet. June CPI report is dropping on Wednesday morning, and per usual, the results of this inflationary data will heavily dictate the short-term price direction of the markets. Remember, a hot CPI report is bad and a cold one is good. Okay, we want to see inflation lowering, getting closer to the Fed's 2% target, because that means that they'll probably decide not to raise interest rates anymore, at least hopefully. This morning, traders at JP Morgan shared what they believe to be the most likely scenarios. So I just shared this these snippets from a CNBC Pro article. It's another thing I do in these newsletters a lot. I'll let you read that. We won't read over that right now, but you can pause it and read that if you'd like. I already lean bullish on the market's reaction to this report, but a cosign from what I believe to be the most competent bank in the world, JD, Uncle Jamie Dimon, definitely helps to reinforce my case. I believe the markets continue to climb in the short to medium term. I believe small caps continue to lead the charge. And I believe that the Waves portfolio will continue to outperform the majority. That said, I want to be clear, I did use some of those profits from Riot and some other profits I actually took today as well to reinforce a put position that I have on the table before the CPI report. And just another piece of trading wisdom. No matter how bullish you may be feeling on a specific play or on the general momentum or direction of the markets, the responsible decision will always be to have a decent hedge position on board leading into an economic catalyst such as this CPI report. Okay, so fingers crossed for a chilly report. Fingers crossed Riot keeps ripping and the king that is Bitcoin continues to climb. So much fundamental and so technical momentum. I'm pumped to see what has with the rest of the month of July, the rest of the summer really, July, August, September, heading into the fall. Rest of 2023 has in store for Bitcoin and Riot Platforms, and I'm pumped to ride the waves with all of you. If you are part of the newsletter portfolio, then I'll see you in the morning. And if not, I look forward to seeing you in there. I'll see you in the comments as well. And until next time, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.